What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, showcasing another kind of dueling book match here. I actually played against Dinomorphia, which is pretty cool. I really have never played this deck before, and I am playing my Invoked Dogmatika Spellbook deck, and I get to go first here. So I have Nadir Servant Ash, Judgment, Maximus, and Secrets. It's about as good as an opening as you could possibly ask for. They have Heavy Storm Duster, Theresia, Pot of Prosperity, Sonic, and Diplos. I don't know necessarily if that's like a top tier hand, but we'll see what ends up happening. So he says no hand traps. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send Tri Brigade Farigite, grabbing myself an Ecclesia, and that's going to go ahead and let me draw a card. Might as well see what I can get, and I'm going to put that back. So I'm going to start probably putting counters on there. I like to keep it on the field. It just helps me keep track of it. And he goes ahead and sends two. I'm going to trigger both of my effects, or just one for now, one during the end phase. Yep, so I get to search a free DD Crow. That's why I play that in the extra deck. And then I can grab a punishment. This is just getting kind of crazy. So there's my second spell card, and now here's my third. So I just get to Pot of Greed on top of adding a bunch of cards at the end phase. So then I have two ways now to protect Jowgen, plus two hand traps, plus I also get to search Fleur. So Jowgen comes out, I can search Secrets, Wisdom, and probably Fate. It's always good to have the immediate answer for follow-up. You never know what your opponent's going to have. This is the pivot point for anything. Also, it's good to get an extra spell for Fate into the graveyard. And then Wisdom is just kind of okay, if you don't kill your opponent this turn, you got to make sure you have the out to Dark Ruler no more, or Infinite Impermanence, something like that. So then yeah, it's just I'm going to 2+. It's so fun when you play a casual deck and you get to go off. So then my opponent's going to go ahead and get started on their turn. So they're going to start with Pot of Prosperity. I had so many connection issues trading this game, but I was back. So he goes for Pot of Prosperity. I'm going to go ahead and Ash that. I think that makes sense, considering he's probably looking for an out to this card. So I like my chances of playing just against these 5 cards versus the next 6. Plus, I already have so much interruption. So he does go for Pot of Duality, and he's going to go ahead and search Brute. I think he's going to try to use it to destroy my Jowgen, and I think this lets him set a Dinomorphia spell and trap straight from the deck. Not worried about Frenzy right now because he cannot special summon, so not an issue. And he's going to try to go to the battle phase. I'm obviously just going to chain Punishment, sending Nadir. And I get to play around his middle one because he had to set it from the deck. I know that that's Frenzy, so I can go over the other ones. So really, he's only going to have one trap that he can actually use next turn. At end phase, Fate can banish 3. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Duster. A bit unfortunate for sure, but, what are you going to do? It doesn't really do anything. Although, to be fair, I'm about to activate Magical Meltdown, and it wouldn't resolve with Storm Duster. So I guess it was pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and use Maximus effect. I'm going to pick off the last back row that he has there. Yep, and it doesn't really do anything. So now I just need to go over and finish for lethal here. So I'm going to activate Meltdown. I can't go into the extra deck, but I couldn't anyways because of Punishment. I'm just adding cards to my hand, getting a lot more advantage than him. I still have Wisdom and Fate for the, for the follow-up. I can use Spellbook of Secrets to search Knowledge, and then go to battle phase. And I'm, getting ready to pretty much end the duel here. I'm just so much far ahead than him. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. 4 on 5 on field. He has 2 cards. I had 1 he definitely cannot use. And he's going to go ahead and probably scoop here. This next game's actually kind of crazy. So, you're playing against a back row deck. You cite an Evenly Match. You cite in Lightning Storm. And, I have Nadir Servant. I felt, confident about this. But, man, Dinomorphia is a very, very tricky deck to stop altogether. So Pot of Prosperity, I'm going to go ahead and probably Ash that, considering just how much interruption I have in my hand. And he's going to go ahead and go to the next turn. And again, I even draw Cosmic Cyclone. Literally, I feel like this is the best case scenario. Although normal traps, that's their advantage. There's really nothing you can do to stop them. So I know that this back one, negates a spell and trap. That I know for a fact. So I'm thinking, okay, let me start with Cosmic Cyclone. Okay. What do we activate? What do I activate first? Evenly matched, or I activate Lightning Storm? I know he's going to chain the fusion, right? Or I figured he probably has the fusion. So even if I destroy the back row, like, I just don't know. I just don't know what the right choice is. Well, okay, the idea here, what I was hoping, is that this was, he would chain to the effect of Nadir Servant. That was the plan. Although now what I'm hoping is that he summons his monster in attack position. And he does. Oh, and then I'm thinking, okay, now let me activate Lightning Storm to finish this off. I thought I had hit him with the perfect wombo combo. Called by the Grave, unfortunately, cannot, banish traps. So he's going to go ahead and fusion summon again. So, geez, like, kind of rough. I thought, like, I was like, Jesus, I have everything that I need to stop him. But nope. I had lost connection during that play, so I just got back when he was trying to use the effect. So I felt so bad. Okay, so at least I can activate the effect of this, to maybe put a body on board. It's just kind of like a big bungus for now. I can't activate the effect, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to just try to find it out. The only unfortunate part is I don't have, like, no spellbooks going. If I'd started my play with spellbook cards, I'd be able to, like, banish this or something, but I just really don't have a quick way to it. Spellbook of Secrets, like, seems like a really good top deck. And I guess it is. It's like, I can't search the one that lets me draw to, because I can't get rid of this body. Like, I need it. I didn't realize what this card does, so it, like, equals out our attack, so I can't use the effect. And I'm like, what, I can't, there's nothing really I can do here. And then I think he goes into Logia, which is like, okay, now I really don't have an out to anything. Plus he's, like, setting from the, it was over. All right, so let's see what I can draw here in game 3, and I totally just massively brick. So I draw 4 one-ofs in the opening hand. That's, like, truly impressive. Like, what are the actual odds? So I thought, like, I just lost, like, straight up. Although the fusion does send from deck, so I'm like, okay, I might be able to do something. Like, I didn't want to just surrender. And sometimes you actually, this worked out for me, right? It's evenly matched. He literally cannot use it. And he gets to send, to the deck. And then he's just going to go to battle phase. So I'm going to take 1,000 damage here. And then he's going to go ahead and go to the end phase, or attempt to. I'm thinking here, like, oh, should I send, something like Titanclad, so that I can search Ecclesia, and then Ecclesia can search me Maximus? Is that the right move? It could have been. It could have been, but I'm thinking, like, man, like, I can stop one of his back rows from interrupting me this, like, before his turn starts, That's the bad part about trap cards. So if I can, like, destroy the fusion, then I can save this for the second one. And if he can't get any bodies out, then obviously that's, like, very bad for him. So I do go for Nadir Servant here, calling one of the back row. Again, kind of unfortunate. Once again, I do hit, the Duster, which probably would have been better. Yeah, if I would have hit Domain, obviously, but what are you going to do? And then a top deck of Meltdown is just, like, actually kind of funny, because now I can't go into the extra deck. It's like the super duper punishment for what I did. Although, again, actually I'm in the same situation, right? If I didn't pop with Elder, I wouldn't be able to activate this. And then I'm going to go ahead and set that card. Again, I'm not feeling good. I feel like I'm going to lose. I think I could have ashed this, right? You can banish this. Although, yeah. That's interesting. I probably should have. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and banish that, and he gets to fusion summon once again. And now he can go into a second copy of Katringa. Something. The 4K body. All right, so then he's going to go ahead and pop this card here, and he's going to bring that back. So kind of a cool combo there, but, I did have the DD Crow, luckily. It was really kind of risky. Like, why don't you just... Do you not just go for the one that doesn't let me activate monster effects? I don't know. He's going to go ahead and set a couple cards, and I'm going to take 4k damage. Oh, 2k only. Does it do half damage when it attacks directly or something? Yes. Interesting. I actually don't know why. Maybe he used No, he didn't use Pride of Prosperity. I don't know why I took half damage. Not gonna lie. Okay, so we can go ahead and go to the main phase 1. A top deck of Spellbook of Secrets is super good. So this is great. You know, whenever you just have Invocation in hand and Alistair in the graveyard, means you get to fusion summon twice. So yeah, Invocation is not a once per turn. And I'm going to go ahead and try to pop that. And he's going to activate Brute. So he's going to destroy both of these. So, you know, meaning he gets his effect off. Which is kind of fine. Like, I'm feeling actually kind of decent about this right now. Like, things are starting to look up. Because now I'm going to use the effect of Invocation. I know he can't use this card. So it really just comes down to this. And he doesn't control a fusion monster anymore, which is bad for him. And then, you know, I can shuffle my deck. Normal summon Alistair, and this is it. I'm playing unabated right now. So Invocation comes down, and I can change that into an Artemis. I can go for a Spellbook of Secrets. Spellbook of Secrets is going to get me Knowledge. Then I can send Artemis. This is just a free Pot of Greed. So now, like, my engine is rolling, and I'm pretty sure, like, this is the end of the duel. But look at these two top decks. Like, Magical Meltdown, Spellbook of Knowledge. That's just so wild. Like, I literally just needed anything, and I really didn't get it. But I can go ahead and, you know, use the effect of the Invoked Makava, or not, I should say special summon Invoked Makava, using the Artemis and the Alistair. Again, setting myself up for some pretty decent plays next turn, but I'm actually not going to go to battle. So the idea here is if I attack over it, it's going to replace itself. Okay, so it's like, okay, maybe I pretty much have to negate the effect. But what do you discard? Fleur? Could. It's not online right now, but I'm thinking if he does get the big body on board, it negates all the effects on the board. The only way I'm going to be able to negate that effect at all is either stopping it, which I don't know if he has like an imperm or something, or Fleur, because it activates pretty much from the hand, which is pretty wild. It would get around the effect that I couldn't use, where you can't use effects. Top deck's an evenly matched, and he's going to use the effect of Alert, special summoning 2 from the graveyard. And then again, this is just like one spot where I'm like, oh, I just straight up lose, right? And this lets him send a spell trap directly to the graveyard from deck, and that one lets him set. So this is a spell and trap negate. He does some pretty wild stuff here, not gonna lie. So he does go for a Logia, which just doesn't have enough attack to get over my combo, which is obviously very good. Does a little dance there. And then I top deck a Spellbook of Prophecy, which is really not the worst thing in the world. Like, yes, I'm going to be normal summoning Alistair, but at the same time, I can just use this to discard if I need to, which I probably will. Although I don't even know if I have any like valid targets for Alistair anymore, other than like Raijin. So he's going to let me use the effect there, and then I can normal summon the Alistair. He's going to negate there. Like, what are you so afraid of? That I thought was so interesting. So then I can activate Magical Meltdown again, and then he's going to negate that. It's like, again, why? Why are you wasting your interruption? Or maybe he thought that was the last one I was going to do. I'm not sure. Because he clearly does get advantage off the destruction, but I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah, my connection just kept going out. So, yep, he's going to go ahead and set from deck, or send to deck. That is a Frenzy. And then I'm going to activate Spellbook of Knowledge. I get to spend Prophecy for my hand. Maybe this time I will get 2 better draws. We will find out. It is Ecclesia and Spellbook of Secrets, so definitely not too bad. It's actually very, very good. Eventually, the draws have to be good. So Ecclesia can go ahead and help me search. That is going to grab me a Maximus. I know he needs his extra deck, so I'm going to go ahead and start just cycling through it while also giving me mini advantage, which is just very, very good. So I can go ahead and send 2. He's going to send 2 as well. He doesn't have anything good to send. And then I can pop his back row, meaning he's not going to be able to use that. And now I can use Spellbook of Secrets to get Spellbook of Fate. And this is just like starting to become icing on the cake here. So I'm going to be able to get over that monster there. I am not going to attack, so I can't get its effects. I did banish that, so I think, again, this is the right decision. Like, I should not beat over it and then negate the effect. So even though this is like a really good out to like the fusions, I think that what I did was good. So a top deck there of infinite impermanence. I don't know, like, I think you just hold imperm, don't you? Very strange. What I'm going to do here, now this is an interesting choice again. Do I get rid of the Macabre and keep the Fleur? Maybe. But my Fleur is offline at that point, isn't it? So what my... And I think that's why I do this. So yes, Maximus is good, right? Getting rid of his extra deck. I still have some good cards to send, for the extra deck to the graveyard. But as long as you can negate the fusion of the 3k body, like, you pretty much can win the duel. So as long as I can prevent that from happening, I think I'm good. And then a top deck of Solemn Judgment, like, it's the end of the game, pretty much. I have an Ash, so he can't fusion summon, okay? And then if he does somehow, like, he's not going to be able to bring out, like, the 3k body that prevents me from doing anything. And I have the monster negate in hand here. Although I think I actually don't end up using it. So all these traps have these effects from battle protection, but he doesn't have that many. So I'm just going to hold on to the Fleur, and then I'm going to hold on to Solemn Judgment too. He actually has his own Solemn Judgment, which is interesting. Like, you think that would be something that you side out. I don't know. Like, there's no benefit to activating these cards, I don't think. So I can go ahead and I think activate Invocation. He does not like these plays going through. And he's going to lose half of his attack. I'm going to go for Fleur here. So as long as I control an extra deck monster, that's Invoked Macabre. There's a little bit of confusion there. And I think he only has one left. So even if he did have some sort of, effect to activate, it's not going to do anything. I'm going to gain the attack there, and then Macabre does not have any more. So that was, the end of the duel there. I thought that was pretty entertaining. Like, the first duel was like the coolest one because my deck got to go off, but yeah, pretty entertaining end to that one. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.